Welcome to Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It, the podcast where we dive deep into the journey from vision to reality. I'm Kelly Jackson, your guide on this path of self-discovery, transformation, and intentional living. Here, we explore everything from mindset shifts and personal growth to spiritual alignment and entrepreneurship, sharing insights, stories, and actionable wisdom to help you live a life in harmony with your dreams. Every episode will dig into what it means to not only dream big, but to actually consciously create the life you envision. Let's turn your dreams into real life. Welcome back. Today's episode is all about gratitude. And we're going beyond the surface to explore its transformative power on every level of our lives. With the holiday season upon us, it is the perfect time to slow down, reflect, and really dig into what gratitude means for us. Not just as a seasonal habit, rather as a powerful path towards deeper self-love, love for humanity, healing, and alignment. We're going to talk about how gratitude can shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance, helping us find fulfillment in the here and now. And we'll also explore the practice of finding gratitude even in our triggers. Those challenging moments that often reveal where we need healing the most. From building stronger connections with others to amplifying our manifesting power. Gratitude is a force that can truly reshape our lives. Throughout this episode, I'll be sharing insights from Self-Love Uni and how these practices can be woven into daily life to support your journey. Whether you're new to gratitude work or just need a refresh, this episode is here to inspire you to see gratitude as a daily invitation to live with more intention, self-love, and joy. So let's get started. First, gratitude as a path to self-love. Okay. Gratitude isn't only about being thankful for what you have, like what you can hold in your hand. It is about honoring who you are and how far you've come. Every time we pause to recognize the beauty in ourselves and our journey, we strengthen our self-love foundation. And embracing gratitude in this way can turn ordinary moments into affirmations of our self-worth, fueling our inner confidence and healing. Have you heard the saying, when you're grateful for what you have everything you need? And then there's another saying that goes, if you're not grateful for what you have now, what makes you think you'll be grateful when you have more? Right? And so gratitude, when you're on this self-love journey, this intentional journey of self, where you're really honoring who you are and how far you've come and where you are on your journey. And remember, friends, you can be a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. Okay? So I'm reminding you that gratitude is a path to self-love. When you're grateful for what you have, and when you are in this place of not feeling like you need more, that you need more to be whole or to be complete, when you're grateful, this is part of self-love. The gratitude and self-love go hand in hand, and we'll get more into it. But let's just keep going because I think y'all are going to like this next one. Shifting from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude rewires us to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. So instead of constantly pursuing more, we learn to appreciate the blessings that we already have. And this mindset shift naturally aligns us with the energy of abundance, which makes room for growth and deep-seated fulfillment. Let me say this again. When we appreciate the blessings that we already have, the mindset shift naturally aligns us with the energy of abundance. So now we're going to shift into a little bit of an energy talk, okay? Which y'all know I love to talk about energy, frequency, vibes, okay? Because everything is energy. We are energy. We are energetic beings and we vibrate, and everyone is vibrating on a certain frequency. Everything is vibrating on a frequency. Even the clothes that you're wearing are vibrating on a frequency. Organic cottons vibrate on a much higher frequency than synthetic fabrics, okay? To give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And this is a measurable frequency. This can be measured, scientifically measured, okay? So everything is energy and the energy of abundance. So a scarcity mindset, if you're focused on what you don't have, you're focused on what you lack, the scarcity. When you shift that focus to be grateful for all the things you do have, not the things you want that you feel like you don't have, but you want them. If that's what you're only focusing on, all the things you don't have, that's the energy of lack, scarcity. I need this. I want this, right? I don't have it. I don't have it. That's lack, scarcity. However, when we can shift the focus to gratitude and let me be thankful for, like, look at all the things I do have, not even things, but like not only material things. Like I've got my health. I've got these positive relationships in my life, right? I've got a home. I've got food. I've got a warm place to sleep. All of these things that you have to be grateful for. I've got an education. I've got my voice, right? And when we focus on all these things we have to be grateful for, energetically, we're vibrating on the frequency of abundance. Because it's like gratitude. I'm there. It's a feeling. It's an energetic, it's an elevated emotion that resonates on a certain frequency. And the frequency of abundance is, the frequency of gratitude is the frequency of abundance. Do you see what I'm saying? It's pretty good, huh? So let's keep going. Because this is one of the key lessons I do teach in Self-Love Uni, and we go deep into it. We're going to do a run through. This is just a little outline I've got for y'all of some key points that I wanted to talk to you today about how gratitude can just shift our mindset and our whole experience with life. So let's go to the number 3 on our list. Gratitude as a daily practice for alignment. Alignment. Alignment is so good. All right. When we build gratitude into our daily routines, we start living with greater alignment and purpose. And gratitude grounds us in the present, where true alignment with our intentions can flourish. And it's about finding those small moments to reflect on, making our goals more meaningful, and keeping us inspired to show up as our best selves. So, one of my morning practices is gratitude. Whenever what we're still calling the FOSS launch. So back in 2020, when I said I was going to do this, dreamed it, then real lifed it, and then in early 2021, I guess, when I was booking and having some guests on, one of the guests that I had on, she's incredible. Her name is Helen Leland. She's the founder of Blender Bombs. And we had a talk. And one of the things she shared with me was this thing called GAMES. And it was an acronym like GAMES. And something she came up with. And I loved it. And truly from that day on, it was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I like inserted it into my routine in my life and my children's at the time even. And it was like, this is what we're doing. And it's gratitude, affirmations, mindfulness, exercise, silence. And this was her morning routine, right? So she would do the games every morning, gratitude, first thing. And then your affirmations, which I like to do in the mirror, or write them down, or say them, at least, friends, at least be saying them. And then mindfulness or meditation, exercise, some sort of stretching, some sort of moving, go for a walk. And then she said silence, maybe that's where she did meditation. You can make it your own. This is just something I loved. But my point is that it has been a daily practice, especially in the morning, first thing. Like when your eyes open, the first thing is to be grateful and to feel gratitude for the breath, gratitude for opening your eyes, gratitude for your life, gratitude for another day, right? And this really is a path to living in greater alignment with your most authentic self. Because gratitude, it's a yummy place to be. It's one of the highest, if not the highest, up there with like peace and love. Gratitude's like the highest vibrational feeling that there is, right? So it's a good place to be. And let's keep going. So number 4, healing through gratitude. Gratitude has a unique power to heal because it shifts our focus from what's, quote, broken to what's whole. And by finding gratitude even in challenging times, we start to process life's hurdles through a lens of resilience. And then this practice aligns to this mission to foster inner peace and transform old wounds into sources of strength and compassion. And we're going to get a little bit more into this in just here in a minute with the healing through gratitude, but because we're going to talk about when we can focus on what's whole about us and not the parts of ourselves that we feel like aren't. And do you understand how this is part of a self-love journey and self-acceptance, right? Self-compassion. We have to give ourselves a lot of grace when we're healing and a lot of gratitude for the journey and everything that's happened to us. And have you heard, I love this, that everything you're going through is preparing you for exactly what you asked for. And when you remember that life is not happening to you, life is happening for you. And my favorite mantra probably of all times, an Abraham Hicks one, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Even when it's hard or things feel broken or whatever, when we can not focus on all these things that we think are wrong or not going wrong, and when we can shift our focus and say, things are always working out for me. And things are unfolding behind the scenes, things that I don't even know about now. And everything's unfolding. And I'm grateful for where I am and all these experiences, because what is even good or bad? We're going to get into the whole good or bad, who's to say. It's one of my favorite stories. It's from Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. At least that's where I first read it. I'm going to share it at some point. It's so good. But it's good or bad, who's to say? So the idea is we don't want to label things as good or bad. We don't want to label experiences or good or bad. Good or bad, who's to say? So what I'm saying is, though, when even these things that are really challenging and everything, when we can find gratitude and just say that everything I'm going through is preparing me for exactly what I asked for, and I trust the process, and I trust the timing, and I trust the beautiful unfolding of my life. And I'm going to be grateful, and I'm going to live in this place of gratitude and start each day with a gratitude practice, waking up just being like, thank you. Thank you I'm grateful for this day. And I'm grateful for this breath, right? And when you can start your day off from that place, a place of gratitude, it's a good place to start your day. So, and gratitude will carry you through the healing process. Grace and gratitude. Okay? So, number 5, manifesting through a grateful heart. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. The more gratitude that we feel, the more we attract positivity into our lives. And I can attest to this because, again, I kind of told you, I've shared my story. I've been on the both sides of it. And definitely this place where I am in life now, we're like just so full of gratitude. My life, it's so abundant with positivity. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I love it. And look, manifestation begins with appreciating what we already have. And this gratitude radiates outward, and it draws in new opportunities and connections and personal growth. And our dreams are nurtured by gratitude, which makes it this really powerful force for manifesting our ideal reality, our compelling future, which is what I like to call it too. So, what do y'all think? Like manifesting through a grateful heart. One thing I know I've written this and said it a bunch, that gratitude expedites the manifestation process. And again, because you have to get out ahead of it. You have to feel, what does it feel like? Like even if if you are waiting on something to manifest or happen before you allow yourself to feel gratitude and joy for that thing, then you've kind of got it backwards in terms of manifestation. That's the way it's. You imagine, you have your idea. Again, let's go back to Abraham when they say like shooting the rockets of desire, right? You had the idea, you shoot the rocket of desire out into the universe, and then you got to let it go. But you feel the elevated emotion of this thing, right? You feel the grateful heart, like ask and it is given. It's already yours. There is a version of you that already has it. And so you feel gratitude and then you release attachment to the outcome, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. And I always add these two little mantras onto the end, right? The same or better, because you don't want to limit yourself to your limited human perception of what all could be possible, because there is so infinitely much more that could happen if you leave it up to God, if you leave it up to the universe, if you don't personally, as a human, try to control it, which is what we humans do try to do. So it's okay. However, the idea is you let go of control and you just trust the process. And you feel gratitude before the thing, and I'm calling it a thing. It's not always a physical thing, but before the idea, before it manifests in the physical in your life where you can touch it, taste it, feel it, see it, smell it, right? Before it's there in the physical, it's there vibrationally. It's already yours. Tap into the gratitude that it's already there. It's in your vibrational escrow, right? And when you remove whatever is blocking you from receiving it, allowing it, receiving it, then it will appear right there in the physical. Until then, you feel gratitude before that happens, and then that's how it happens, right? So that's kind of manifesting through a grateful heart. The more gratitude we feel, get out ahead of it. Feel gratitude knowing there's this trend, I want to call it. I've seen it going around. I've seen it on a couple different reels by a couple different people online. And I like it. And so I'm glad it's going around because it's a really good message. And the message is, and this is in terms of manifestation, right? Imagine somebody writes you a check and they're saying, here's a check for $1 million and it's yours, but it's in escrow. It's got to sit there in the bank for 10 days before the funds are available. It's yours though. It's already been deposited. Live like you're in that place of knowing it's coming. Like it's already there. Not even that it's coming. It's already there, right? You might not be able to access it, touch it, spend it, donate it, use it, play with it yet. However, it's already yours. So live in that place of gratitude and knowing that it's already yours. And so that's the idea of manifesting with a grateful heart. Okay? Number 6, gratitude as a connector to others. Okay, I like this one too. Gratitude fosters authentic connection. Whether this is with loved ones or our community, right? When we share what we're grateful for, we invite others into that space of joy and vulnerability, which is building trust and understanding. And in Self-Love Uni, we emphasize how connecting through gratitude can enrich our relationships, creating this ripple effect of positivity, right? And look, gratitude, because as I mentioned earlier, it's one of the most highest vibrational feelings that there is. It's contagious. It's good. It's a good thing. And when you are really proficient at expressing gratitude and living in a place, like living from a place of gratitude, and you will experience profound connections with other people when you're living from that place. And that gratitude that you are cultivating from within, it's mirrored back to you through these connections and through these relationships. And it really does create a ripple effect, because when you don't hold back on expressing your gratitude and appreciation for others, people, all of us, we like to feel appreciated, and we like to know that people are grateful for us, right? Or for something. And it's just to express gratitude for someone lending a helping hand, for someone, assisting you, or just for someone being a bright light and being like, thank you for showing up authentically, because you are inspiring me to show up authentically. Thank you for sharing your story, because you really helped me. Like, I thought I was all alone, and then I realized, oh, somebody else is going through this. Thank you for, like, all of the ways that we can express gratitude to others, and it connects us to others, right? The things that we're grateful for others, for whatever it is. So I encourage you to continue to express gratitude and foster authentic connections. Again, whether this is with your loved ones, with your family, with your dear friends, or even within your community. It's a good practice. And gratitude, expressing gratitude is a practice. Now, number 7, we're going to explore gratitude in a way that might surprise you by giving thanks for the things that challenge and trigger us. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but these moments often hold some of the most valuable insights for our personal growth. And I mean, think about it. Those triggers, the things that spark frustration, hurt, discomfort, anger. They're often mirrors reflecting areas where healing and self-love are needed. So, what if we could reframe our triggers as opportunities to grow, heal, and step into a deeper sense of peace? So, today we're going to dive into how practicing gratitude, even for the uncomfortable, the triggers, guys, the stuff we don't like, can reshape our journey towards wholeness. And as we're going to navigate this together, remember, Self-Love Uni's here to help you embrace this work with supportive tools and a community that gets it. Okay? So, are you ready to look at gratitude in a whole new way? Let's dive in. The idea of being grateful, yes, grateful with a capital grateful, for all our triggers may seem counterintuitive at first, but it really can be incredibly transformative because these triggers, they're often highlighting areas within us that still need healing. The parts of ourself where fear, insecurity, unresolved pain is lying dormant. And when we start viewing the triggers as opportunities rather than setbacks or attacks, right? They become gateways to deeper self-understanding. Each time we're triggered, we can pause, take a deep breath. Always take a breath. Did y'all hear the episode with Verge Osberry? And we talked about this. Just breathe. Take a breath. Right? So that instead of reacting, we can respond. So having that level of self-awareness that you are being triggered and choosing to recognize that my nervous system just dysregulated real quickly, right? I was doing okay. And then whoop, sympathetic nervous system was like firing on all cylinders and you're triggered and your heart's racing and you feel the things. And if you're not in the practice of finding center, coming back to your breath, self-awareness, you know what I'm saying? Like responding, overreacting, and all of these things, then this point in time is where you react, where you do the thing that you were subconsciously programmed to do, that you're not even consciously doing. You're triggered, and when that trigger goes off, is pulled or whatever, when you're triggered, then your knee-jerk response is whatever's there in the subconscious, right? And if you're not doing this type of work, the inner work, the shadow work, the light work, the inner work, then your triggers, you're not using your triggers as teachers. You're not learning from them. You're repeating them. And that's what becomes then it can become a toxic pattern, right? When it's not helping you to grow and evolve and become the version of you that you want to be, the best version of you, the most aligned version, the most authentic version, all of this stuff. And so this is like a really big place to dive in and do the work. Triggers as teachers. And having gratitude for your triggers because you recognize them as opportunities for growth rather than these like things to just get angry about and complain about. Stop complaining about your triggers, friends. This is be like, thank you for the trigger. I mean, you don't have to be like all happy about it, but like be grateful for it and be like, I'm not going to complain about it because I recognize this is really here to help me. Where is there fear here? Is there insecurity here? Is there unresolved pain here? Why is this triggering me? Is there some shadow aspect that I am just not willing to look at? And remember, your shadow aspects are these parts of yourself that you've either consciously or unconsciously deemed unworthy or unlovable or something based on society or your upbringing or belief systems that aren't even yours necessarily, right? And so these are these shadow aspects of yourself or parts that ego fails to want to let you admit or see about yourself because they make you feel uncomfortable and you don't want to admit that about yourself. You don't want to face it. And here's the thing. When we hide from our shadows, when we try to push them down or ignore them or hide from them or disown them, that's when they get really big and dark and scary. And that's when they keep us playing small. And that's when they keep us hiding. And that's when they keep us in this place where we feel like we're being judged by others. But when we do the shadow work, which means when we embrace these shadow aspects of ourselves, when we embrace our shadow self, and when we say, this doesn't scare me, I love all parts of myself, even those parts that at one time I may have deemed unworthy or unlovable, like, no, this is me. I'm both of the light and the dark. And the dark is just as sacred as the light. And so instead of fearing or feeling less than or unworthy because of our shadow aspects, we choose to love and embrace them. And we don't allow them to scare us or keep us small or have us shrinking or dimming our light any longer. And so sometimes other people's light triggers our shadows. Did you hear that episode on Shining Your Light? It was one of the first 5. It was a really good one on this topic. So I just want, each time we're triggered, remember, we can pause, we can reflect, we can thank that moment for revealing a part of ourselves that we might otherwise stay hidden. And this gratitude allows us to take control of the healing process, turning what was once a source of discomfort into a catalyst for growth. And rather than reacting or suppressing the feeling, gratitude for our triggers invites us to ask questions like, well, why did this upset me? What old belief or fear is it bringing up? How can I honor or heal this part of myself? Right? Someone just shared this with me and I loved it because I'm really big on inner child work, and we were at this Aligned Awakening event. I mentioned it before. It was a great experience. And what they shared with me is when something happens, also, you can ask yourself, how old am I right now? When you're triggered, like let's say you're triggered by something, ask yourself the question, how old am I right now? And allow your intuition, your inner wisdom to answer, maybe this is a childhood version of you that is being triggered. Maybe it's a teenage version of you that's being triggered, right? Like, who knows? So I've not had this, just recently happened, and I've not yet had the experience to incorporate that or integrate that yet. However, I really loved it and I'm plan on integrating it. And I want to share it here. So again, gratitude for our triggers. It's just inviting us to ask these kinds of questions, right? To peeling back the layers, really getting to know who you are on a deeper level. And when we shift to a perspective of gratitude for our triggers, then we start to reframe these moments of tension, because triggers make you all tense, into moments of healing. And that feels more relaxed. And again, everything comes back to energy and your point of attraction. And energetically, when you can shift from being triggered to like, I'm going to shift into a place of gratitude. I might not feel that happy about it right now. However, I recognize that what I'm being called to do is to be grateful for it. And eventually it will come in your nature. And I know I'm joking about it. There's some of you out there who are going to be like laughing with me going, sister, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And some of you may be like, what are you even talking about? That's not what? I don't know where you're going to fall on that. However, this was a true conversation I was having with someone the other day on a walk that like stuff happens like like the kind of stuff that's like, what? And you can't even get mad about it anymore. You can't even get mad about it because I'm like, gotta be grateful for that. There's a lesson there. It's comical. It's like this kind of like a cosmic joke to a point because I can't even get mad about the stuff that happens because I know it's an opportunity for growth. And I'm not saying that I want to still get mad about it, but like, what point would there be to complain? You get to a point, and this reminds me of one other thing that I saw online that I absolutely loved. And I may have shared it in that conversation actually at the same time because it felt relevant then and it feels relevant now. And the thing I saw said, my condolences to anyone who thought that once you got to a certain consciousness that you wouldn't, that life would feel easier in some way. No. All that happens is you are no longer able to ignore, right, your shadows, the things that you need to do. Like the self-awareness becomes, and the gratitude, the understanding that complaining is not the vibration you want to be resonant at, right? That's not it. And so it's, y'all, it's just kind of, it's fun. It's amazing. It's not that contrast and challenges and difficulties and grief and heartache. And it's not that those things don't happen. It's that you have the version of you that you have become is so well equipped to handle the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs and the challenges and the contrast of life and do it with grace and gratitude. And so the way that you're able to navigate life is from a place of ease and flow and gratitude and bliss. And that bliss consciousness, that place of really trusting the process and having faith that things are always working out for you and you are loved and protected and safe and supported and you are always being divinely guided and you can tap in, tune in, turn on, connect with your inner guidance at any time through breath, through meditation, through movement, even like asana. It's like a moving meditation, right? And even these moments of silence, every morning I invite you to truly greet the day with a grateful heart and to practice gratitude throughout the day. Keep a gratitude jar, keep a gratitude journal. Express your gratitude for the people in your life to them. Tell them you're grateful for them. Let them know. And all of these things, I'll give you a quick little rundown of what we talked about. Gratitude as a path to self-love. Shifting from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude will rewire us to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude as a daily practice for alignment. Healing through gratitude. Manifesting through a grateful heart. Gratitude as a connector to others. And then gratitude for our triggers. Turning our triggers into teachers. All right, guys, that's what I got for you today. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you tuning in, listening. I'm grateful for you inviting me into your ear, into your home, into your car, into your space. And I show up with the intention to serve value and to lift your spirit and raise the vibration of love in your life and on this earth. And together we can do that. We can do that together. We can raise the vibration of love. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. See you next time. All right. Before we close out today, there are a couple of things I wanted to touch on. I'm sure noticed today's episode was all about gratitude. Even though there is a holiday a couple days away, this focus was on gratitude. For one, it is wonderful to have a whole month dedicated to gratitude, not just one day, right? And also, there's another reason that the focus was on gratitude, because the historical context around Thanksgiving is complex and it's sensitive. And you may or may not have heard this story before, but at the beginning of my intentional journey of self, I had this incredible opportunity to spend several months along with an intimate group of people, a small intimate group of people. We were learning under the guidance of Michael Running Bear all about Native American culture, spirituality, all of the things, the medicine wheel, drumming journeys. It was a very transformative period of my life. Shamanism, all of the things. And I've awakened to this that I'm about to talk about here for just a little minute. I've awakened to this over the course of this journey. And so it's something that I'm more aware of now, and it's something that I'm more mindful of now. So I was raised in America. That's where I'm recording this from. And the traditional narrative is that Thanksgiving is, celebrated as this celebratory feast. And that was commemorating this gathering between the European colonizers, aka the Pilgrims, and the Native Americans. And this was all happening in present day Plymouth, Massachusetts, right? And that's the story that we're told. And what I've learned, and what many Native Americans and historians' perspective of Thanksgiving is that it's a little different, and that it represents colonization and displacement of the Native Americans by the European settlers. And there was violence and marginalization of the Native American communities. And that led to like genocide, right? Because when the European settlers came, there was a significant population decline and cultural destruction and violence against the Native Americans, and even cultural erasure. And in many ways, Thanksgiving perpetuates stereotypes and can erase Native American histories and culture and experiences. So, let me give you a little bit of a historical context. So there was this Native American and Pilgrim alliance that happened in 1621 and in what is now present-day Plymouth, Massachusetts. But here's the thing, it was likely more of a diplomatic gathering than a celebratory feast, right? And there was a war in 1675 to 1678, King Philip's War, and this was because there was conflict between the English colonizers and the Native Americans. And this led to significant Native American losses. And there was forced assimilation and relocation of the Native Americans. And there were boarding schools and cultural suppression. And all that to say, here we are now, right? And we have the opportunity to acknowledge this November as Native American Heritage Month and acknowledge the contributions and the struggles of the Native Americans. And there are alternatives too, like you can celebrate Friendsgiving. And that is a growing trend, which I love. Personally, I love the idea of Friendsgiving. And I think the other thing that's important is just to do kind of what we're doing right now, education and awareness. Make an effort to accurately represent Native Americans and their history and their experiences. And that, like, one of the ways you can do this to honor Native American experiences is by listening to Native American voices and learning accurate histories and supporting Native American communities. And of course, practice gratitude year-round. And these are just some things that, again, I've awakened to, I've become more aware of, and I'm more mindful of. So I'm not saying don't get together with your family and friends and, create memories over a nice meal. Of course, do that. You don't have to be gluttonous though, right? Like, prepare food, enjoy, stop when you're satisfied, not when you're stuffed, and enjoy the company of loved ones, and absolutely feel full of gratitude. And I love it. So that's one thing I wanted to say. And I'll also mention some of the resources some of that information we were just talking about that came from Native American Heritage Month at the Library of Congress, the National Museum of the American Indian, and the book An Indigenous People's History of the United States by Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz. And of course, I will link all of that in the show notes for you as per the usual. And last but not least, definitely not least, guys, if you have not already signed up for the Power of Self-Love Week, which is December 9th through 13th, do it now. You can go to whatchawant.us/SLU live. So it's CHA want.us/SLU live. And that's where you can sign up for free. This is a transformative week, 5 days. We're going to hop on every day, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 1 hour each day for a live interactive video call. And Replays are available. Don't worry if you can't make the live, still sign up. You're going to want to have a seat. There's all kinds of other good stuff going on too. I'm not even going to get into that right now. It'll be a surprise, but you're going to want to be there. This is the perfect time right before the new year to really, really, really fall in love with the person you are becoming and release everything that is no longer serving you. And you are not going to take that into 2025 with you. Okay. We are doing this. It is going to be amazing. And I will link it in the show notes how you can sign up. And guys, I'm grateful that you're here. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It. I hope today's episode sparked something powerful within you. Remember, every step you take towards your vision counts, no matter how small. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please take a second to hit that subscribe button or leave a review. That would be amazing. Or share the podcast with someone who's ready to bring their dreams into reality too. And if you're looking to dive deeper, connect with me on social media at Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It, or at BE_what you want. Or visit dreameditthenreallifedit.us for more resources on aligning your life, business, and dreams. Until next time, keep dreaming and keep manifesting your dreams into real life. Love you, friends.